Hey folks, Joe out here in the shop again, and a few days ago I posted a couple of videos. One was talking about this year, my old road bike that I recently bought back and took it out for a spin, and at the 11-kilometer mark got a flat tire. Uh, Here's the tube with the puncture on it, and there's the tire up here just set out of the way. I already got the brakes loosened off. I just put the wheel back on without the tire the other day. What I had noticed, and I think I mentioned this in the previous video, was the rim strip that was going around it. It was basically rotted out and falling apart. You see there's not much left of that. And as a result, some of the metal edges where the spoke grommets go in here, some of those were shown, and that's where the tube punctured. It was on the rim side, not the tire side, so it wasn't something that punctured the tire. It punctured the tube from inside. So I needed a new set of rim strips. The back wheel is probably just about as bad, so I'm going to replace that as well. Just small parts, very inexpensive, just for convenience this time. I just ordered these guys from Amazon. They arrived 2 days later, so very quick, very fast. Let's open them up here. Or even a nice little resealable Ziploc bag. So here we are, 2 new rim strips. They're pretty self-explanatory. There's the hole for the valve, and this just goes around the rim, seals up the inside. Grab the wheel here. Grab my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, my eyes are very old. They were born, well, not just my eyes, but myself. I was born at a very young age, and that was quite a while ago. So we just center the valve hole over the valve here, and then we work the new rim strip in. On here. And just like I thought, it slipped out of place a little bit more. See if we can work her back. Went just a little bit out of center as I was working around, but I was able to just squeeze that back in. Sure it looks even all the way around, no exposed metal edges. Now this is ready to put the tube and tire back together. The old tube I have not repaired. Probably put a patch on it one of these days, use it for a spare. What I'm going to do right now is grab this tube here, which I think is a good tube with no holes in it. And if it leaks, I will take it out and put in another tube. Pop the tire back down. So we just had a really big thunderstorm here an hour or so ago. Kind of was expecting it, and came down pretty hard. My dogs were in the backyard, and one of them, Sandpaper, she somehow got out of the yard. It's fenced in yard. Side gate over there on the fence, another gate over here by the garage. That was all closed up, and she got away. My neighbors came, knocked on the door, let me know, and then we went out and found her at the end of the street, brought her back. Same thing happened last Saturday night, a week ago, and I do not know how she's getting out of the yard. Last week I had a couple ideas on what it might have been, and solved that, or so I thought. Now tonight I had another look around, and one of the areas that I think she might have been squeezing out, very small little opening, but she can be determined. So I sealed that up a little bit more, and hopefully that's good. She's 12 and a half years old, and she's always been a little bit of an escape artist ever since she was a puppy. Likes to explore. I just don't want her getting hurt when she's out and about, like traffic and all that sort of stuff. So that was a little bit of a scare, but all ended well. Let's make sure there's no kinks in that tube. Looking good. the weather cooperates, I'm going to have this bike out for another good ride tomorrow. I'll see if I can get a little speed going. I was pretty happy with my ride last week before the flat. I wasn't quite as happy with the ride after the flat. But that's beside the point. Stuff happens, right? Now I should have a, let me see, I'm missing one thing. Give me a second. I may edit some of this out or not. Here it is. Thought sure it would take me a little longer to find that. I was going to edit that out. This is just a little nut that you spin on it. Keep the valve from popping up inside the tire too much. This valve is quite short, barely long enough. I do have a couple other brand new tubes. Got a couple of these guys with the monstrous valve on it. These are for the deep dish aero wheels. These have never been used, but I picked up a couple of these. It was all that was in stock when I got them at the bike shop I was working at back in Winnipeg. Yeah, I was getting them as spares for setting up a home trainer. This was back in Winnipeg shortly after I'd had a stroke. Having strokes are no fun. I do not recommend them. I'm feeling much better now. Anyways, let's pump some air into this guy. I'm going to leave it overnight before I go for a ride, make sure it holds the air. And as mentioned last week on the ride, when I got the flat, I suddenly realized I had forgot my spare tube at home. Tire levers as well. Something's going on here. I think we have a bad tube. Okay. That was a small waste of time. Go grab my tire levers again. And we'll pop this tire off on one side. I'm not going to take the tire rate off this time. I took it off before because I had to do the rim tape, of course. I'm going to pop this out. Pretty sure we have a leak on this tube after all. Did not think that was the case. No big deal. I'll pump that up one of these days, see if I can patch her up and have another as a spare tube. For now, we're going to put on this tube with the extremely long valve, but it's what I've got, so it's good enough for now. It's just going to look a little bit silly. I think maybe next trip to the bike shop, I'll pick up a couple more tubes that'll fit these narrow road wheels. We're running 700 by 23C tires on it, so they are narrow. It's an older bike, like I mentioned before. Newer bikes are now running quite a bit wider tires. Road, put on a set of 25C tires to get a little bit more width. If they fit. I know it won't take anything any wider than that, but if they'll take 25, so that'll be a little bit nicer ride. These tires here, recommended tire pressure for these is minimum of 90 pounds up to 125. I'll probably be running them around 110, more or less. Way back in the day when I first started racing, I was actually racing on 19 millimeter tires. Yeah, they used to make them that narrow. Crazy, isn't it? Turn this chair a bit of an angle so I can lean the tire down on that while I work it on. And there we go. Now put on the glasses again so I can see a little bit better. Make sure I'm not pinching that tube anywheres. And I think we're good. Loosen off the valve. I should have fired up the compressor, used that for inflating the tires, but didn't feel like firing up the air compressor just for the sake of changing 2 skinny road tires. Doesn't take long to pump these guys up. Yeah, that's better. So we got this at 100 psi, 100 pounds of pressure. That was acting a little funny, but we got her. And then we dropped the nut. Blow off the sawdust there from the floor. Yes, this is a dusty shop. It's primarily a woodworking shop. The main thing I do is build custom canoe and kayak paddles, plus a few other things, planter boxes and so forth. And that's where I make all my play money. Now we got this at 100 psi. I'm going to leave it overnight, not even put it back on the bike yet. Actually, we'll put her back on the bike just to get her out of the way. But we're going to leave her overnight. Check the tire pressure again tomorrow before we take her out for a ride. And we're going to do the same with the back wheel, change the rim strip on that, otherwise that one's probably going to flat next. But we're not going to record that and show that on the video. It's pretty much the same process, don't need to see it twice. Okay, so we're back here, we're well underway on the second wheel. And as I expected, the other rim strip was rotted out almost as bad. Not quite, but it was literally falling apart as I was trying to get it out. So that is toast. Toss that in the garbage can over here off camera. Got the second rim strip in. Nice and clean. No metal edges showing. Should be awesome, they said. Anyways, that's all set up. This tube is good, still holding air. And the tire, it's getting a few years old, but we'll get a little more life out of it for now. I'm going to slap this back together and we'll be back with a bit more soon. Just hold on a sec. Be right back. Hey folks, so we're back. Job is finished for now. We got the rim tape replaced on both wheels. Put in a new front tube, put tires back on, got them pumped up to 100 psi. I'll double check the pressure tomorrow, make sure there's no leaks. Tweak the back brake a little bit, had a slight rub going on that, and all goes well. We'll get her out for a little ride tomorrow, see how she does. They're calling for some light rain showers throughout the day tomorrow, but mostly like 0.1, 0.2 millimeters an hour, or more so late afternoon into the evening. But if I can get in a ride late morning, early afternoon, that would be awesome. Rain or shine, it's either that or head out for a run. I've been off the running for over a month lately due to a meniscus injury. I mentioned that a few videos ago. Went out for a little 5K run yesterday. Seemed to feel really good, better than expected actually. So I may do a run tomorrow if the rain is a little heavier, leave the bike inside, go for a run. One way or another, I'll get out there for a workout tomorrow. Earlier today, I was working on paddles for a few hours, some canoe and kayak paddles. Got a few more orders coming in, so I got to get those done. That's what pays the bills. And then getting some work done on the bike tonight. So it is now time for a cold beer. It is early Saturday evening, and the beer always tastes so much better after you've got a few things done and had a pretty good day. Anyways, I'll be back with another one soon. Let you know how the ride goes or the run or whatever the case may be. Still here. Thanks for watching. Cheers. We'll talk to you all later. Dang, that tastes good. Over and out.